Hello BookTube. Today I'm continuing my reprise of the alphabet tags created by Jim of Jim's Books, Reading and Stuff. Today, X, which is proving to be exceptionally a pain in the rear end. X is for xylophone. What is your ringtone? Mine is the standard Hello Moto. I have yet to change it, even though I have had this phone for several years now. X is for X-Files. Are you a Mulder or a Scully? Mulders believe in the paranormal and extraterrestrials. Scullys are skeptical and look for other more rational explanations for strange phenomena. I am a Scully. X is for xenomorph. Who or what is your favorite alien? The Vorlons from Babylon 5. X is for Malcolm X. Have you read his autobiography? No. X is for Xmas. What is your favorite Xmas book? I think the only book explicitly about Christmas that I have read is A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. Given that I have not read it in well over 20 years, I don't think it can be considered a favorite. X is for X-Ray Specs, the famous English punk band. What is your favorite punk band? Susie and the Banshees. I first heard of them first listened to one of their songs in the early 90s. Their song Face to Face was featured in the film Batman Returns. And in the early 2000s, I started listening to their music quite heavily, to the point where I think I have most of their oeuvre. And I quite enjoy their work. They are the band of the 80s. So there were several tags where music is brought up. And I have mentioned that I have a band for every decade of my life. And Susie and the Banshees represent the 1980s. X is for Xenocide. Is there a book you have read which covered a xenocide? Yes. A xenocide is the execution or attempted execution of the extermination of an entire alien species. And there is no famous example of a literary xenocide than The Conclusion of Ender's Game by Orson Scott Card, in which the aliens species that had been at war with Earth intermittently for decades were exterminated by humanity. X is for X certificate. What was the first adult film you saw? Interview with the Vampire. My mom rented it from a local video rental place, and she quite explicitly sent me and my brother to our rooms while she watched it. And as a sub-question to this one, what was the first book you read which you would consider unsuitable for children? The Spy Who Loved Me by Ian Fleming. Most of the Bond novels probably should be for a slightly older audience, although I guess the question with adult films or adult books and children, it's like, how do you define it? Particularly with children, is it picture books? Is it to middle grade? Is it in some respects young adult? But I would definitely consider The Spy Who Loved Me, which is a very weird novel, as unsuitable for children or young adults. Maybe. Anyway. X is for X marks the spot. Have you read a book about buried treasure? Yes. I read. What? Oh, this is embarrassing. Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson. I've read that, which is about a group of people going to a desert island to search for buried treasure. Also, I have been reading One Piece by Eiichiro Oda, which is a manga series about pirates that does feature buried treasure, or at least treasure. X is for X-Men. Do you have a favorite character from the X-Men comics or films? Yes, I have several. My favorite character is Storm, one of the major X-Men characters. X is for xylopyrography, the art of burning an image onto wood. Do you have any examples of this art? No. X is for xenophobia. Have you been shocked by any xenophobia you have encountered in your reading? Yes. And also in real life. Definitely the rise in xenophobia over the last few years since before this tag was created has been incredibly shocking. X is for X Factor. Do you have a hidden talent? Not that I can think of. Bonus prompts. X is for Xena the Warrior Princess. Talk about a female protagonist who kicked ass. I'm going to go with Jolene Cujo from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Stone Ocean. Jolene Cujo is the estranged daughter of Jotaro Kujo, who had been one of the primary protagonists of the extended JoJo's Bizarre Adventure series. Jolene is framed for a crime she did not commit and wrongfully imprisoned. And the goal of this imprisonment is to lure out her father so that the villains who operate within the prison can gain a measure of revenge on him, as well as gain some information from him. And Jolene has to figure out how to survive in prison, get her father's memories back, and defeat the conspiracy that threatens the world. Jolene develops a superpower called a stand that allows her to transform parts of her body into strings. And she gathers a bunch of allies, but Jolene is a very kick-ass protagonist. X is for Xian, Xanthi, Xanadu, and a few other places. Have you read anything said in a place beginning with X? I don't think so. Nothing is coming to mind, although I'm pretty sure there are places. They're just not popping out to me right now. X is for X-ray. Have you broken any bones? No, I have not. X is for Xerox. Have you read a book which plagiarized another? So, I remember back from when I was in high school, I read a novel called Giants in the Earth by Ui Rulvag, which is about Norwegian immigrants to the United States. And in the introduction, it's mentioned that there was a similar book, I'm blanking on the author and the title, that was published, I think, a few months before Giants in the Earth. I mean, it was so close that one author quipped to the other that if it were any later, one of us would be accused of plagiarizing the other. And I actually think the publications were switched. Like, one came out in Norway before the other one, and then the one came out in the United States before the other. So I guess I'll go with that. So that was the X tag. If you'd like to do this tag, consider yourselves tagged. And I will see you tomorrow with a Christmas book haul. or Mongahal, I should say. So until then, thank you, have a great afternoon, and stay safe.